Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Renfrew County Council inaugural meeting of December the 15th, 2020. I'll have the meeting called to order, and I'll ask you to stand for a moment of silent reflection, please. Thank you very much, everyone. Please be seated. Mr. Morrow, could you do roll call, please?
Thank you, Warren. Thank you, Warden. We'll start with Councillor Bennett.
Here.
Councillor Brose.
Present.
Councillor Doncaster.
Present.
Councillor Donahue. Councillor Emo.
Present.
Councillor Grills.
Present.
Councillor Hunt.
Present.
Councillor Keller.
Present.
Councillor Love.
Present.
Councillor Lynch.
Present.
Councillor Murphy.
Here.
Councillor Peckett.
Present.
Councillor Rigger.
Present.
Councillor Reinwald.
Present.
And Warden Robinson. Councillor Sweet. And Councillor TJ. Okay, I see Councillor TJ. I just don't see Councillor Sweet. Okay, roll call has been taken, Warden. Thank you, Warden. Item number 6 on the agenda. Pursuant to Section 17 of the County of Renfrew Procedural Bylaw 85-10, as amended, the clerk, acting as presiding officer, called for nominations for warden for the ensuing year that were filed with the clerk of the County of Renfrew by the deadline for nominations of November 13th, 2020. Moved by Councillor Donahue, Councillor Brose, that Debbie Robinson, Reeve of the Township of Laurentian Valley, is hereby nominated as candidate for the wardenship of this county for the ensuing year or until such time as a successor is elected. There are no other nominations. Okay. So I will start, and seeing no other nominations, I will start and ask the mover to proceed to the podium. Thank you.
He's muted, CAO.
Check. Can I be heard? All right, thank you. It would not be actually a council meeting were the warden not to gently intone to me. Councillor Donahue, you're muted. So we'll begin that way again today. County Council, MP Cheryl Gallant, the Honourable Minister John Yakubuski, your worships, Mayors Stack, Dion, Bennett, Edie, Moore, and LeMay, Chief Wendy Jocko. Welcome to the new commander at Garrison Petawawa, Colonel Vass and Chief Warrant Officer Durnford, and all esteemed guests so graciously joining us this morning for the first time live around the globe via YouTube. Good morning. I want to take just a moment at the start to reinforce that this is not a weapon depriving you of liberty. It's a powerful yet simple measure to prevent transmission of a devastating pestilence. As we enter the Christmas season, I implore you, please wear your masks at all times when you're out in public. I'm quite certain I'll elicit no quarrel that 2020 has been the longest 10 years of our lives. When last we gathered to elect the warden, the words coronavirus or COVID did not exist outside the fields of epidemiology or infectious disease, or perhaps those who'd lived through the SARS outbreak of 2003, which incidentally infected 8,100 people globally and claimed 774 lives. A city in central China of 11 million people would enter our lexicon only a week and a half into this year. On January 9th, I first saw an Associated Press article carried in the Toronto Star reporting that the Wuhan Municipal Health Commission identified 59 people being treated for a novel coronavirus. From then through February, we were advised that Canada was at low risk. On March 12th and 13th, the NBA and NHL suspended their seasons, and truly jarring, on the 14th was the cancellation of St. Patrick's in Douglas. Ontario declared a state of emergency March 17th, closing all but essential services. The same day, a special session of County Council delegated its authority to Warden Robinson and CAO Morrow. 1 week later, the first case in Renfrew County was diagnosed in Pembroke. 1 week after that, the county declared a state of emergency. This was the maelstrom Debbie Robinson, now Warden Robinson, found herself at the center of not 3 months into her term. 1 year ago, I directed attention to the wall of wardens outside the council chamber, where previously hung the portraits of only 4 women predecessors. Warden Robinson now finds herself among even more rarefied company on that wall. Warden Michael O'Reilly, long-serving reeve of Eganville, though it must be noted out of good Brumley stock from Osceola, presided over this county's council during the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic. Warden O'Reilly projects an air of quiet confidence and competence. Perhaps Warden Robinson is channeling that as she seems permanently to inhabit the calm eye of this storm that has swirled this year about us all. Warden Robinson began the year with an ambitious agenda: the consolidation of county services and the renovation required to the main administration building would perhaps be most disruptive. However, the provincial transition in healthcare delivery from the LHIN model to the Ontario Health Team model would likely prove to be the most challenging. Debbie was insistent the county had a role in shaping this emerging model as it delivered, that is, the county delivered $50 million worth of health services through long-term care and the paramedic service. Of course, there was also the enterprise-wide service delivery review with a focus on identifying opportunities to provide more efficient service to our community. Oh, and the transition of each of Miramichi Lodge and Bonnechere Manor to the emotional intelligence-based butterfly model of dementia care. Not sure, did I already mention the development of a seniors housing strategy to develop a roadmap to meet the needs of a rapidly growing demographic, and OPA 25. Full agenda, of course, it had to be amended shortly into the new year to add the position of new grandma as well. Debbie had quickly found her stride as Warden Robinson was fully engaged in all of these files. And then COVID. Debbie drew a breath, rolled her sleeves just a little higher, and put her shoulder once more to the wheel. COVID would not define Warden Robinson, it would reveal Warden Robinson. Just after declaring the state of emergency, she commented to me, "Well, what do you do when you're going through hell, but keep going?" With the indefatigable efforts, support, and assistance of a supremely capable senior leadership team, Warden Robinson implemented the continuity of operations plan that would ensure critical services to our community continued unabated, while ensuring the health and safety of staff and residents remained of paramount importance. Debbie presided over County Council only 3 times in the council chamber. However, only the March council meeting was canceled before council from the municipal diaspora entered the virtual realm through the miracle of Zoom, where once council had to endure debate from a genteel distance, not particularly suited to the Ottawa Valley, we could now engage nose to nose like prize fighters at a weigh-in. Even in the face of the enormous upheaval of COVID and the energies brought to the response, all but a few of the initiatives mentioned earlier continued apace. Warden Robinson has displayed a calm yet resolute determination in rising to challenges presented in 2020. I often found the dramatic changes sometimes affected my demeanor, yet Debbie always displayed a grace and poise that belied the pressure she must often have felt. I dare say there has been at least one diamond forged in the heat and pressure of COVID-19. Conjured from nothing but an idea in just 12 days, Renfrew County Virtual Triage and Assessment Center, now RCVTAC, is the result of an unparalleled collaborative effort of multiple health partners across the breadth and length of Renfrew County. I've no doubt Warden Robinson will elaborate, so we'll defer to her, not only as she's the most articulate, but also the most fervent champion of this innovative model of healthcare delivery that is addressing the particular challenges of accessibility in rural and remote regions like ours. To the Council for the County of Renfrew and Mr. Morrow as presiding officer, it is once again my distinct privilege and pleasure to nominate Debbie Robinson to be returned as the warden for the County of Renfrew. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Donahue. I'd now like to call Councillor Rose to the podium as the seconder of the warden's nomination.
Thank you, Paul. Good morning and welcome. Members of County Council, mayors, Chief Wendy Jocko, Colonel John Vass, Commander and Chief Warrant Officer Jack Durnford, MP Cheryl Gallant, MPP John Yakubuski, Renfrew County staff, and members of the public. Courage, commitment, and perseverance, attributes necessary in an emergency, have been demonstrated admirably by Warden Robinson throughout this unprecedented pandemic. When we began 2020, we had no idea how quickly the provincial landscape would change, challenging how we conduct county business and manage the organization. Warden Robinson exercised patience and flexibility, adjusting as well as adapting to the constantly changing provincial orders. This has become the new normal, and it requires a high level of trust in our senior leadership team, meeting frequently, collaborating, and evolving as we continue to deliver our residents services to our residents in Renfrew County. Warden Robinson has invested considerable time and effort in meeting these requirements, advocating for Renfrew County while working closely with the province to implement new strategies. These efforts have resulted in provincial support for programs such as our Renfrew County Virtual Triage Assessment Center and our paramedicine program for seniors, programs which have proven to be successful in addressing healthcare issues safely, efficiently, and effectively. Warden Robinson's commitment to supporting our small businesses was evident in her efforts to establish a small business emergency fund to assist with COVID-19 expenses. Warden Robinson took the lead in lobbying the province and our local MPP in getting our official plan exemption. This allowed Renfrew County to make amendments to the provincial plan to accurately address our unique rural characteristics. These are a few of the highlights that have been accomplished under Warden Robinson's leadership. And in spite of future uncertainty, Warden Robinson has dared to lead, choosing to serve Renfrew County for another term. When we surrender our expectations, embrace the moment, and utilize the collective energy from those individuals surrounding us, we achieve our greatest results. When we choose to facilitate the difficult discussions by leaning into vulnerability and seeking to understand, we recognize the potential of others, exploring and developing their ideas. When we display empathy, connection, and courage, stay curious, ask the right questions, and don't pretend to have the answers, we empower others, achieving our goals as a united team. Warden Robinson has led by demonstrating these principles, knowing that success in leadership becomes infinite when we share our challenges with others. I have admired the professionalism and patience displayed by Warden Robinson, providing direction and support to our consultants that delivered our service delivery review and our senior housing strategy. As chairperson of county council meetings and an active participant in committee meetings in a year unlike any experienced by previous wardens in recent memory, we have met and in most cases exceeded expectations. Having witnessed the unwavering support for staff, committees, and councils as a colleague and a friend, I'm honored to second the nomination of Debbie Robinson for her second term as Warden of Renfrew County.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Rose. I will now ask the mover and the seconder to present the warden with the chain of office.
Warden Robinson, congratulations. Right here. Wide shot, looking here.
Maybe we should all so that she can hear us clapping.
I can see you clapping. That's good. Thank you.
We'll now ask the warden to state the declaration of office.
Thanks, Mr. Morrow. I, Debbie Robinson, having been elected to the Council of Warden of the County of Renfrew, do solemnly promise and declare that, on behalf of the County of Renfrew, I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability. I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And I make this solemn promise and declaration, consciously believing it to be true, and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Thank you, Warden. It's my pleasure to turn the meeting back over to you.
Thank you very much. Just have some water. Well, on to year number 2. As we gather this morning, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of Council and our community that we were meeting on traditional territory of the First Nations. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history, and we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Good morning, and thank you for being here today. To begin with, I would like to acknowledge my husband, Dale, for attending by Zoom. Too bad I can't have you with me, but I know that you're certainly watching. I would also want to express my gratitude to my mover, Councillor Michael Donoghue, and my seconder, Councillor James Brose, for their advice and support this past year and for my nomination as warden for a second term. I also wish to thank all County Council members for their belief in my leadership and their vote of confidence. Together, we will enter 2021 with open minds and the drive to serve our residents with the utmost dedication. These are most certainly difficult times. Together in 2020, we faced significant challenges with COVID-19. However, we have been uncompromising in ensuring service standards to our community were maintained. As a council, we have seen many changes in government priorities and policies. These changes have come at a pace that has often been quite rapid, requiring us to swiftly take a stand, push back, partner, and negotiate. Together, council and staff will continue to tackle whatever changes come our way. The County of Renfrew has always been an innovator and a tough negotiator, and these traits will continue to serve us well as we head into 2021 and beyond. Of that, I am certain. Our strategic plan identifies our priorities and offers us direction that allows us to focus on actions to achieve beneficial results for our community and lead to success for the future. It is the benchmark against which we must continue to measure ourselves, our strengths, and our capacity to meet the needs of our residents. Our service delivery review project has unveiled other areas where we can further advance our goals and create a roadmap for future countywide initiatives. I'm looking forward to working on the various recommendations as a council this coming year. In 2021, we will continue to focus on engaging governments at the provincial and federal levels, maintaining fiscal sustainability, implementing service delivery reviews, and accelerating our use of technology. Attaining success also depends on continuing to maintain and grow partnerships with our 17 municipalities, senior governments, Canadian Nuclear Laboratories, Garrison Petawawa, Algonquins of Pikwakanagan, EOWC, AMO, FCM, Roma, the media, and all of our local stakeholders. CNL's dedication to secure its future as a critical research and development institution here in the Ottawa Valley will contribute significantly to the stabilization of our local economy now and in the years to come. I am especially looking forward to our continued collaboration with Garrison Petawawa, an incredibly important asset to the town of Petawawa, the County of Renfrew, to our nation, and indeed the international community. I am very pleased to have Colonel John Bass here with us today. I also want to acknowledge that we are on unceded territory of the Algonquin First Nation. It was my privilege to meet with Chief of the Algonquins of Pikwakanagan this past year. Chief Wendy Jocko, her council, and Renfrew County Council have a shared goal of improving the quality of life and economic well-being of our communities. We must build on this relationship in 2021 and take deliberate steps to advance the historic Memorandum of Understanding signed by our two councils in 2016. Working together with our partners, this council will continue to move forward on successful projects like Highway 417 expansion, the completion of the Algonquin Trail, and increased transportation projects. We are also ready to tackle new challenges, including sustainable funding for the Renfrew County Virtual Triage and Assessment Center. Created in response to the Province of Ontario's directive to create COVID-19 assessment and testing centers, Renfrew County VTAC achieved that and so much more. Access to healthcare for the thousands of people in our community who do not have a family doctor or who cannot reach their family doctor is now possible. A shortage of family physicians is not unique to the County of Renfrew. It is a challenge facing hundreds of communities across this province. It is our goal to see Renfrew County VTAC become a permanent fixture within our local healthcare sector, and that will require the commitment of Ontario's Premier. Together with our partners, we are working diligently to make that happen. In addition, we will press forward with initiatives concerning community housing, childcare, and Ontario Works. We will continue to embrace the adoption of the butterfly model for Bonnysher Manor and Miramichi Lodge. As we have this entire year, we will continue to ensure our community's most vulnerable are able to access services and supports that they deserve and require in order to stay safe. I want to acknowledge the sacrifices made by the residents of our long-term care homes and their families this past year. There have been some trying and heartbreaking times, but we have made our way through. Time lost with a loved one can never be replaced. And I sincerely wish it had not cost so much. To the families still waiting for a loved one to be admitted to long-term care facility, I want to say that your challenges have not gone unnoticed by County Council and this province. Our world-class paramedic service, renowned for its innovation, continues to creatively meet the needs of our rural community. The announcement of the Community Paramedic Program, 100% funded by the province of Ontario, is devoted to the needs of the individuals on the waitlist for long-term care and will bring support, hope, and compassion where it is most needed. As councillors, we will continue to make sure our voices are heard at AMO, FCM, Roma, and EOWC to ensure that paramedic services remain locally managed and focused so that we can continue to provide the best programs and services to our residents in the manner that is best suited to their needs. Communicating with our residents and other stakeholders on key issues has served us well in the past, and moving into this year, we will continue our efforts to keep people informed. Our new communication strategy will provide us with a guide on how to connect with our community and each other more effectively. By examining new technology options and building on the methods we already use, I am confident that we will continue to keep our community engaged. Live streaming our meetings was not on the horizon a year ago, but has allowed a level of transparency that has benefited us all. We are moving into a year of transition, not only here in this building and at Renfrew County Place, but with our continued examination of our service delivery methods to find improvements and efficiencies in how we do business. This service transition reaches out to all of our local municipalities as well. Shared services are being examined, and no doubt these new ways of delivering services will yield savings, sustainability, and improvements to the services our residents receive, not only at the county level, but across local municipalities as well. We have also committed much effort and investment in the CellGap project and the Eastern Ontario Regional Network. And as council, we will continue to move forward and ensure that we remain at the top of the list for infrastructure and increased connectivity that will help attract new businesses, investments, and residents to our county. Recently, brave men and women representing Black, Indigenous, and people of color have begun to speak out about the racism and discrimination they and their families have endured for years. The courage it took for these individuals to publicly share their stories should not be undervalued. I am confident that council and our community recognizes that racism and discrimination are unfortunately present in our lives and our workplaces, and have been for some time, and wishes it wasn't so. All of us deserve to be treated with dignity and respect, but we are hearing that this has not occurred for many of our friends and neighbors. But I believe this can change. When we hear stories and listen to our hearts and our minds, when we listen to stories, our hearts and our minds can be open. As municipal politicians and community influencers, we are expected to lead and support our communities to do better. In the new year, Council will continue the conversation in an effort to develop a plan and begin the journey towards a more welcoming, inclusive, and hopefully rejuvenated community for all residents. There is, however, no quick solution. Municipal government must follow processes, but I know many members of Council are committed to going down this path in order to formulate a plan of action that is transparent and meaningful on behalf of all County of Renfrew residents. So together, as a committed, hardworking, and focused Council, and with our dedicated and expert staff, we will press on, continuing to build upon the excellent work that has already been done by this Council and those before it. I look forward to working with each of you this year and making sure that each of you feels listened to and valued for the contributions made in the committees you will sit on or lead. I am humbled and honored by this opportunity you have afforded me today. Let's get moving from this day forward to leading, serving, and celebrating our county every day. We are not only elected officials, but ambassadors. And as such, let's remind those who invest, visit, or live here, experience our history, and share our future. Thank you very much. And I wish each and every one of you a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Thank you. Now on to the speeches that everybody really came to hear. We are fortunate to have a number of guests with us this morning. I'd like first to welcome Renfrew Nipissing Pembroke MP Cheryl Gallant, the longest serving member of the Federal Caucus, to bring greetings. Welcome, Cheryl.
Thank you, Madam Warden. And first of all, congratulations to you on your acclamation as Warden. Thank you also for your participation and cooperation with every level of government, but especially continuing to work with the Eastern Ontario Wardens Caucus, pushing to get the high-speed internet to places in Renfrew County where there are still gaps. To all members of Council, you are to be commended for your extraordinary leadership during these unprecedented times, and your effectiveness shows throughout our communities in the way we've managed to get through this pandemic relatively unscathed. So thank you to each and every one of you for your hard work, and I look forward to seeing everyone in person one day soon. Thank you, Warden Robinson.
Thank you very much, Cheryl. Very nice to see you. Addressing us next will be the Honorable John Yakubuski, MPP of Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke, and Minister of Natural Resources and Forestry. I've enjoyed an excellent working relationship with Minister Yakubuski this past year, as there have been many times where we have asked him to intercede on our behalf with the provincial government. In fact, it was only last week during a webinar that Premier Ford spoke of the booming voice of our MP as he advocates for Renfrew County. It's my pleasure to welcome John here today.
We good?
You are now, yes.
The yellow square, the yellow rectangle says I'm okay. Well, thank you very much, Warden Robinson. And let me begin by welcoming all your special guests, of course, members of County Council and mayors from across the region, but also Chief Wendy Jocko, Colonel Voss, and Chief Warrant Officer Durnford, whose pictures I can't see on here, but I know they're here somewhere. I guess I got to switch the screen. And congratulations to you, Warden Robinson. Truly an unprecedented year, as Councillor and Mayor Donahue alluded to. Talk about being thrown into the fire right off the bat as warden in this circumstances this year that we all have endured with COVID-19. Not something that you probably anticipated when letting your name stand for warden not that long ago. Certainly unexpected. And I want to talk about a number of things. I won't take too long, but Warden Robinson did talk about the working relationship, and I must say that immediately after becoming a member of government and a member of the Executive Council, I committed with Renfrew County Warden at that time, Jennifer Murphy, that I would have regular meetings with the county and the warden in person, and we maintained that schedule until such time as COVID hit. But we have maintained and continued with meetings, and sometimes actually they're easier to schedule under these circumstances because we don't have to all find ourselves in the same room at the same time. But the warden and I have met many times, and it brings me to the changes, and all of you mentioned broadband and the unprecedented commitment that we have made at the provincial level to broadband, and I want to congratulate and thank the county for all of their work, and also EON, the Eastern Ontario Regional Network, for their continued efforts in order to bring digitization and broadband and more capacity to rural residents, not only in Renfrew County, but across all of Eastern Ontario. And of course, the move is to bring that throughout the entire province of Ontario. And I just want to make a comment that, you just...
Oh. You turned off your mic, John.
But mustn't have liked what I said. But anyway, happens all the time. My wife does it too. The new world we live in has changed so many things. And if there's a silver lining from COVID, that may have accelerated. There's no question it's accelerated the movement on behalf of governments, on the part of governments, pardon me, to move more quickly to build a stronger and better broadband network across the country, and indeed here in the province of Ontario. And a little example of it, I mean, each and every one of us, as far as I could see when I'm looking at the pictures, we're all coming to this, other than Warden Robinson, Mayors Donahue and Brose, who would appear to be in the council chambers, as we've seen, are coming from either a home office or an office in our workplaces, except Mayor Bennett. Mayor Bennett is coming from the space station, it appears, which is just amazing to be able to see something like that on this December morning here in Renfrew County. So I hope it's good up there, Steve, and I hope you're looking after yourself, because that can be difficult. I know astronaut Chris Hatfield has said it's quite an experience, so I hope you're enjoying it as well. But enough with the humor. But that's what it also has shown. COVID is the absolute paramount of importance of the symbiotic relationship between the province and municipalities. The COVID crisis has galvanized that relationship in ways that I think we all will benefit from, not only this year, and I think that there has been benefits. I mean, I think our Safe Restart program was absolutely critical to municipalities across the province, and I think that kind of interaction and those working towards common goals will be beneficial to all of us. The warden and the mayors talked about programs that are so important. The community paramedic program, which we're all very proud of, and I want to give a shout out to Mike Nolan and his people as well. He's been an absolute champion on that issue, and to have Renfrew County as one of the the pilots. We weren't just the pilots, we were the innovators here on that. So to have it as one of the pilots programs, I expect we're going to find that community paramedic program province-wide in the very future. You talked about Highway 17. Of course, that's a commitment that we made as government, and it is proceeding on schedule. I know Mayor Peckett received a letter recently from the Minister of Transportation with regards to the the interchange at Calabogie Road. So we know that things are on schedule. And I just want to, reassert my commitment as your member of provincial parliament to continue to work with you, not only in my capacity there, but and because it does challenge sometimes the ability to have those in-person meetings as a minister, because we have a lot of commitments at that level as well. But my commitment to you as members of county council, and through you to the people of Renfrew County, is absolutely ironclad. And I want to assure you that we're going to continue that. And I look forward to hopefully working with Warden Robinson in a different circumstance as we emerge from this COVID-19 crisis, which we're all anxious to do so. But we know that there's still some tough sledding ahead for all of us, but working together, I know we will get through this. So I want to congratulate each and every one of you for bearing through this year as well, as mayors and reeves of your respective municipalities. I guess, is there any reeves anymore? I'm not even 100% sure of that. But as heads of your municipalities and representatives, well, there are reeves who represent county council. I don't know if they're the heads of council anymore. But anyway, I do want to congratulate and thank each and every one of you for your efforts. And on behalf of my wife, Vicky, and our entire family, I want to wish each and every one of you absolutely the merriest and blessed of Christmases, and safe, healthy, very healthy, happy New Year. Thank you very much for having me today.
Well, thank you very much, John. It's a pleasure to be here, and it has been an absolute pleasure for me to be able to work with you this past year. I would say that probably due to the pandemic, you were much more accessible than if we had to try to figure out meetings where we had to see each other in person. And I do know that you probably felt like you were on speed dial for a little while there with me, but anyway, you always answer the call, and I very much appreciate that. I'd also like to acknowledge someone else who has just joined our inaugural meeting, the Honorable Lisa MacLeod, Minister of Heritage, Sport, Tourism, and Cultural Industries, has joined us, and we will hear from her shortly. Our next speaker, no stranger to County Council, our next speaker is former reeve and now Mayor of Arnprior, Walter Stack, who recently joined myself and members of County Council at a ribbon cutting ceremony celebrating the $1.5 million reconstruction of the Madawaska River Bridge. Welcome again, Walter.
Thank you, Warden. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today and bring greetings on behalf of the town of Arnprior. First, Warden Robertson, on behalf of myself, our councillors, staff, and residents of Arnprior, we want to offer our congratulations on you being acclaimed to a second term. As we continue to meet virtually through this pandemic, I want to express our appreciation to you, Warden, for your leadership and direction over a rather different and very difficult first term due to COVID-19. To all members of County Council, including our own Councillor Lynch, thank each of you for your commitment and work in these chambers and beyond. On behalf of our council, staff, residents, my wife Barbara, and myself and our family, we want to extend a very Merry Christmas and sincere best wishes for a prosperous, safe, and healthy new year to each of you and your families. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Walter, and Merry Christmas to you as well and your council and family. It is my pleasure to introduce Mayor Suzanne Dion of Deep River. We first met a number of years ago when we sat beside each other during a Radiothon fundraiser. Welcome, Suzanne.
Thank you, Warden Robinson and members of County Council, honorable dignitaries, and MP Gallant, MPP Yakabuski, Colonel Lass. I want to say I really enjoyed all your many thoughtful remarks today, and I appreciate the effort and the thought you've all put into that. On behalf of Reeve Doncaster and the town of Deep River, I would like to wish and convey my sincere congratulations to Warden Robinson on her acclamation to a second term, and to thank her and all of County Council for your hard work throughout the year. Despite the hardship this year, your leadership and guidance to our residents has been integral to Renfrew County faring as well as we have. So thank you very much. I also want to echo the appreciation of others to all of those on the front lines of this pandemic, and in particular, our thanks to Dr. Corvo, the health unit, Mike Nolan, and the paramedics, and all of those who work in long-term care homes, hospitals, and frontline occupations such as retail. You've all shown tremendous courage and you've worked exceptionally hard this year. And my hope for the next year is that the vaccines do their job and you all get a bit of a break. So as others have all said, it's certainly been interesting, and who would have guessed this time last year when we had a nice lunch together that we would not be able to do that this year. But while it's been a very difficult year, and I doubt almost anyone wants to repeat it, it has also been a year of surprising opportunities and some unexpected silver linings. Certainly, we've all reinforced the importance of the pandemic has reinforced the importance of family, friends, our pets, takeout, and Zoom for us. And if you'd asked me this time last year if I expected Deep River to experience a real estate boom in 2020, I would have politely told you that I was hoping for one, but I certainly did not expect it. And was I wrong? And I think our experience in Deep River mirrors that of many rural communities this year. We fortunately had a banner year for real estate sales, as did many others. And the pandemic seems to have proven that it really is feasible to work from home and have a good and affordable quality of life. So I believe now more than ever, it's important for all of us to work together to capitalize on that momentum that has sort of been our silver lining in all of this, and continue to promote Renfrew County as an excellent place to live, work, and play. You really can do it all here. So I think we continue to promote the value of local and increase our lobbying of the provincial representatives to ensure rural Ontario receives an increasing share of investment dollars for infrastructure essentials such as internet, water, sewer, transportation, because rural Ontario is really an excellent solution and an antidote to the traffic and growth of the GTA, and an alternative which the province would be wise to encourage. So on that note, while I know we are all looking forward to a very happy and progressive new year, let's not forget the lessons and silver linings of the past year, as well as some of the hardship, and highlight the opportunities to help people discover what Renfrew County is all about so they can also forge new beginnings here. My thanks to you and everyone, and have a very Merry Christmas and a wonderful but quiet holiday. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Suzanne, and for your positive words as well. We're going to go to 2021 and we're going to be just fine. That's my belief. We're going to be a lot stronger at the end of this. Our next speaker spent many years working on behalf of residents of Renfrew County during his tenure on County Council. He left 6 years ago to become the mayor of the town of Renfrew. Welcome back, Mayor Don Eading.
Thank you. MPP or MP Cheryl Gallant, Minister Yakubuski, Warden Robinson, Chief Jocko, visiting mayors, county council members, of course, county council, County Renfrew, very, very capable staff. Good morning and greetings from the town of Renfrew. Warden Robinson, congratulations. Your leadership in the past year has been totally outstanding. Looking forward to having your leadership again for 2021. I know you're doing it through tough times, but you have Sean, and Sean in a very, very good way. So thank you very much for that. But through Revimo and his leadership and helping us with the town of Renfrew, Warden Robinson had mentioned some partnerships. We have a lot of partnerships going on with Renfrew County right now, whether it be road maintenance, road building, and I'd like to single out the Algonquin Trail. It's been absolutely amazing what the Algonquin Trail has started to do for the town of Renfrew. I've walked the trails quite a bit myself personally. An unbelievable amount of people that are using it, either walking, bicycling, four-wheelers, etc. And I'm sure in the wintertime, we're going to see a big influx of snowmobilers. This is and can be and will be a great economic booster for our town and all of the county, really. So in closing, I'd just like to wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas and all of the best in a new year that hopefully will be much, much better than the previous year. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Don. And yes, we're definitely working together well as local municipalities, and thank you for your words. I met our next speaker while I was the editor of the Whitewater Cobden Sun some 8 years ago. He was a firefighter and I was the pesky reporter. I'm happy to welcome Mayor Michael Moore, Township of Whitewater Region. And I caught him right when he got off his chair. Look at that.
Sorry, phone rang. Good morning, Warden Robinson, members of County Council, CAO Morrow, county staff, and distinguished guests. I am pleased as mayor of the Township of Whitewater Region to bring greetings on behalf of our council and our residents. A year ago, we had no idea what was ahead of us, and I want to thank the county for its tremendous leadership during this pandemic. You've worked hard to keep our residents safe, especially in county long-term care homes and through new and innovative ways, including Renfrew County VTAC and ongoing testing. As we see positive cases in our community, we must remain united in our ongoing efforts to slow down the spread of COVID-19 and continue to be kind and compassionate with our friends and neighbors, for which we are known for in the Ottawa Valley. We must support our local businesses and job creation. As we look to the future, our township vision is to maintain our rural quality of life by balancing sustainability and growth. We know the County of Renfrew as our trusted partner in achieving this vision. In closing, I want to thank Reeve Regier for her work at the county, and congratulations to Warden Robinson on your acclamation. I wish all members of staff and council good health in 2020 and be safe this holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Moore. When I decided to run for warden, one of my first phone calls was to our next speaker. I am fortunate as the Reeve of Laurentian Valley to have the support of my council and in particular of my mayor, Steve Bennett. Welcome, Steve.
Good morning. Debbie, can you hear me?
We can.
Okay. Good morning, Warden Debbie and all mayors, Reeves, and staff, and to all of this morning participating in this inaugural meeting session. Debbie, on behalf of Laurentian Valley Council, we wish to congratulate you and wish you the very best in your second year as warden. Being acclaimed this year shows the respect and admiration from your peers at County Council. I am sure we would all agree the stress and pressure that COVID has put on all of us has been very difficult. And with these circumstances, the county needs a true leader to lead the county through this. I can't think of anyone better suited for the job of warden than you, Debbie. Your professionalism and dedication is second to none. You have represented our county over the past year extremely well. No matter what role or project you have put your name forward to, you have given 150% of yourself and will not stop until you feel you have done your very best for all involved. In your first year of warden, you have proven this to be true. Through this trying year, you've still been able to fulfill your duties and bring in new initiatives that will make Renfrew County an even better place to live. Warden Debbie, I wish you the very best in your second year and hope that some type of normalcy will return, and only then you can find out what it's like in normal times as warden. Take care, stay safe, and make us proud. Wishing you and all of County Council and staff a very Merry Christmas. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you very much, Steve. And I will be at Laurentian Valley Council tonight at 5:30, I promise.
Sounds good.
When I first met our next speaker, I didn't think either of us expected to be political colleagues. At the time, I was the student, and he was one of the many teachers at Fellows High School. Now an ardent supporter of his community, please welcome Mayor Michael LeMay of the City of Pembroke.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of City Council, it's a pleasure to bring greetings from the city of Pembroke, the heart of the Ottawa Valley. Congratulations, Reeve Robinson, on your acclamation as warden. I'm looking forward to continued collaboration with you to better serve the residents of the county and the city. And I'm sure that we accept times are changing for municipalities and we can't afford to do business the same way we have in the past. We share costs in long-term care, paramedics, local housing, Ontario Works, and childcare. The success of our partnerships and the importance of collaborating in other areas is necessary if we are to ensure that everything we do together is the very best and the most cost-effective for all of our residents. Once again, thank you, County Council, excuse me, for your continued collaboration with the city. May the message of Christmas fill you with joy and peace, and best wishes to you and your families during the holiday season. Thank you, and stay safe, everyone.
Thank you, Michael, and all the best to your family and council as well. Colonel John Bass and Chief Warrant Officer Jack Durnford, Garrison Petawawa. It is my pleasure to have both of you with us today. County Council is looking forward to continuing our excellent relationship with the Garrison in 2021 and beyond. Welcome, gentlemen.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Warden Robinson. Member of Parliament Gallant, Member of Provincial Parliament Yakabuski, Minister McLeod, Warden Robinson, members of council and county staff, Chief Jocko, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor and a privilege to be invited here today. Thank you very much for that. I would like to offer you, Warden Robinson, our most sincere congratulations on your acclamation as the Warden of the county. And we wish you success in your upcoming term and look very much forward to working with you the rest of the team this upcoming year. Under normal circumstances, like everybody else, I would like nothing more than to be conducting this important event together rather than virtually. However, I fully appreciate the sacrifices we have all had to make in order to continue to keep this community safe. This has been an extremely challenging year for all of us. We've been forced to completely change the way we do business and have demanded rigid discipline to health protocols from our people. I am confident that the relatively low number of positive cases in our county is a direct reflection of the significant effort regarding health and safety of the county and provincial health services staff. We would not be in this position had it not been for your great leadership. And this is to everybody that is a participant in this inauguration. Mr. Durnford and I have recently hosted the annual Garrison Petawawa Command Team Business Lunch. At the virtual lunch, I told our local business partners that we are part of the community and we are in this together. And that is a message that I wanted to bring to all of you today. I grew up here in the Ottawa Valley and I know what a great community it is to call home. So now as commander of the 4th Canadian Divisional Support Group, it is an absolute pleasure to be able to work with the community that means so much to me. My fire team partner, Chief Warrant Officer Durnford, is also online with me today, as you well know, and would like to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. I am honored, first off, for the opportunity to say a few words. I, too, have been a part of this community for over 30 years now and consider Renfrew County my home. We, the members of the defense team of Petawawa, are so fortunate to be surrounded by such a welcoming and supportive community. No matter where our members come from, they can call the Ottawa Valley home. I'd also like to touch on some of the support for the community. When it comes to community, the soldiers and civilians at Garrison Petawawa never fail to support with open arms. I'd also like to tell you this year we raised more than $50,000 for the United Way through our National Defense Workplace Charitable Campaign. Other initiatives we supported this year that went back to this community is the Truckers Toy Drive, the Stuff the Cruiser, Movember, and of course, the countless hours our soldiers take when volunteering their time to the communities. Sir, back over to you.
Thanks, Mr. Renfrew. So on the garrison, we train, equip, and sustain close to about 8,000 soldiers, and they represent all three elements of the Canadian Armed Forces. In addition to housing the 2nd Canadian Mechanized Brigade Group, Garrison Petawawa is home to a large element of the Canadian Special Operations Forces Command, including Canada's only Special Operations Aviation Squadron. The garrison is also home to Canada's only heavy lift tactical helicopter squadron. So the big two-bladed Chinooks that you see flying around, that is the only squadron in Canada. And also hosts the only deployable field hospital. Notably, the 2nd Canadian Mechanized Brigade Group does provide the bulk of the soldiers that work at Garrison Petawawa. And therefore, that organization does have a large impact on the community. So our role as the divisional support group is to support and sustain the force to enable all these larger units to focus their efforts on training and readiness in order to respond to Canada's needs, whether it be here domestically or internationally. And beyond the hectic training schedule and deployment requirements, there's a significant amount of infrastructure investment that's happening here at the garrison as well. We have several large infrastructure projects underway, including upgrading our what we know as PMQs, or residential housing units, and this includes the utilities as well. We have an integrated healthcare facility that's just about finished construction, the Canadian Special Operations Complex, and the Royal Canadian Dragoons building. So just a few examples of the significant federal investment that is going on up here, which is great for the community. A future project that we will be looking to support in cooperation with everybody online is improving garrison access and the flow of traffic on and off the garrison. A project that we would see widening Menin Road on the garrison, and see the creation of a traffic circle as well at Menin and Montgomery Road, just at the entrance to the base. These efforts, combined with a new access point from Highway 17 at Brindle Road, should greatly reduce that congestion that unfortunately our members do cause on a daily basis. Garrison Petawawa does continue to be a very dynamic workplace and one of the largest operational bases in Canada, which means our members do need to train often. Mr. Durnford, over to you.
Okay, sir, just a few points on COVID-19 and the training that we're conducting here in Petawawa. There have been some questions recently surrounding how we continue to manage the protection of our forces while resuming training. I can assure you that the safety of our defense team members and the community is a key priority. We created a business resumption plan which allowed us to return to work, conduct our key training and institutional support activities, while at the same time safeguarding our health and operational readiness. This plan continues to provide guidance to keep us safe and to minimize the impact which when an infection occurs amongst our defense team or their families. The force self-protection measures may seem strict at times, but this is necessary in order to protect our force. Sir.
Thanks, Mr. Durnford. And I assure you, we are almost finished here, but I did want to mention that as part of our resumption of training activities, you may have noticed a lot of troops training in the community. And this kind of training provides our soldiers with the experience they need should we be called upon to operate in a COVID environment, either domestically or abroad. And I would note that our garrison does provide an excellent backdrop for some training. However, training to operate in a domestic context does require the complexity of the real world that is difficult to replicate in our training area in our backyard. Notably, I would mention that 2 Brigade is currently deployed to the Ukraine, to Latvia, Kuwait, Iraq, and a number of other small missions. And the training requirements for these deployments were significant, and they were constrained based on the environment that we found ourselves working in. So I would just, throw out, or I would say that we owe you a debt of gratitude for the support and understanding from the community and putting up with the disruptions and the noises that we make up here. So that is very much appreciated. In closing, and on behalf of all members of Garrison Petawawa, congratulations again, Warden Robinson. And we would like to offer you and your families, to all the participants, the very best this holiday season. We hope that the new year finds you all happy and healthy, and we look forward to working with you all again in 2021. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. We are extremely proud of Garrison Petawawa in the county of Renfrew, Ontario, and Canada for sure. And just you make as much noise as you would like to make. We're fine with that. Anyway, it's very nice to see you both again. And I only had the opportunity for one meeting with you in 2020, but hopefully we'll have more in 2021. Despite the challenges of the pandemic, Chief Wendy Jocko of the Algonquins of Pikwakanagan First Nation and I had the opportunity to meet along the shores of Golden Lake this past summer. We have many common interests, most notable, a desire to have our two councils work together on projects of mutual interest. It's wonderful to see you here today, Wendy.
Well, thank you very much for that introduction, Debbie. Dear friends, on behalf of the Algonquins of Pikwakanagan First Nation, I am pleased to congratulate Debbie Robinson as she assumes the office of the Warden of the County of Renfrew in this inaugural session. The inaugural session of Debbie Robinson's last term was the first time Pikwakanagan First Nation was invited to speak, and we are very pleased to be marking this occasion once again. We also acknowledge and appreciate that the Council of the County of Renfrew opens their sessions acknowledging our territory and the First Nation. There has also been an expressed interest in flying our Pikwakanagan flag at the county office. This type of active, respectful recognition and inclusion of the First Nation is historical, leading the way to a truly shared future. As amplified in our Memorandum of Understanding signed in 2016, we jointly recognize opportunities for collaboration and are much aligned in our visions for the economic future in Algonquin territory, throughout the Kitchissippi, the Ottawa Valley. Although this MOU is legally non-binding, much like the agreement in principle for our treaty negotiations with Ontario and Canada, we find that the spirit of respect and cooperation does not require us to be legally bound to act in the best interests of all. As Pikwakanagan enters into an era of self-government and self-determination, our leadership with the County of Renfrew will become even more vital. Once again, we offer our congratulations to Debbie Robinson, and we look forward to our work together to ensure our most prosperous and sustainable future. We wish you much success and personal fulfillment in your role. May the Creator guide you in all your work as we fulfill our shared mission of always doing what is best for our citizens, Mother Earth, and all creation. We wish you all the best for the new year and for the upcoming holiday season. Miigwech, thank you, merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much, Chief Jocko. And I do look forward to meeting with you more frequently in 2021 as well. Thank you for all of our speakers who came here today. It's just so very nice to hear from each and every one of you. But we also have a very special guest with us this afternoon. So I would ask Minister Yakabuski to please do the honors of introducing the Honorable Lisa MacLeod, Minister of Heritage, Sport, Tourism, and Cultural Industries. Welcome, Minister.
Well, greeting once again. I got a redo. Look at that, twice to the podium in one inaugural session. It's unprecedented, but this is an unprecedented year, of course. Why? But what a pleasure I have this morning to introduce my friend and colleague, the Honorable Lisa MacLeod, to County Council. And Minister MacLeod is no stranger to Renfrew County, as you know. She's been here a number of times, and I know she loves the place. But how could you not, Lisa? I know it is absolutely a gorgeous piece of this beautiful earth that we live in. And you know, I can't remember exactly when I first met Lisa, but I'm suspicious that it was probably 2003 when her husband Joe was a candidate for us in the provincial election. And I got to know her a little bit, and then we got closer. And when she ran in 2006, I had the honor of joining her on the campaign trail a few times in that by-election. But it was a great experience for me. And we've actually shared seats on a number of occasions. I think this is the third time. We now share a seat in the legislature, I think for the third time since we've both been elected. So each one of us has to get earplugs from time to time to avoid the din of the other. But Lisa has been an amazing MPP, and I think she's really found her groove in this ministry of heritage, tourism, culture, sport. I'll get them backwards, whatever. But talk about someone to embrace the role. And through this period of COVID, I think it's fair to say, I don't think we've had a more active minister, because she has recognized the impact that this crisis and this virus has had on the people that are affected by her ministry. I don't think there's any industry that's been affected more terribly than the tourism one, because, you know, tourism, as much as we understand and value and recognize how important it is to Renfrew County, it doesn't fit there with food on the table and getting, you know, your essentials. It's something that you love to do, but not something that you have to do. And we're always doing our job to promote that want to do. And Renfrew County is so good at doing that. And we have a minister that is absolutely par excellence at doing just that. And I know I don't want to steal her thunder. But you know, a few months ago when we had this original conversation and she gave me this potential news, I was like, I was over the moon, but I had to keep it to myself. So, and I didn't say nothing when I was originally speaking this morning. In fact, I wasn't even sure that Minister MacLeod was on the call at that point until Warden Robinson mentioned it. But my friend and the minister here has a absolutely wonderful, brings that wonderful news to Renfrew County. And I'm going to now turn the floor over to the Honorable Lisa MacLeod.
Well, thank you very much, John. It is true. We are very close friends. It is true that we've sat in the legislature on 3 different occasions as seatmates, which is quite something. And it is true that we both have to purchase one another earplugs each Christmas because both of us are a bit more boisterous than most members of the Assembly. And I've got lots of stories to tell, but I won't do them today. But John also is one of my most expensive friends. Last week, I dropped a $1.3 million check for a variety of projects in his constituency. And today, we're going to be making a large announcement as well for you. But before I get into that, John was right. The sectors that I represent in heritage, sport, tourism, and culture industries have been hit first, hardest, and many will take the longest to recover. It's going to be very difficult to get people back into live entertainment, to take in a show. Some parents are very nervous about getting their kids back into sports. And of course, it's going to take a while before our tourism industry recovers from its previous glory of 2019, when our receipts in the province reached over $36 billion. So it's been a very difficult time. But what we have done in the ministry is we've set out to plan for our recovery and for our reemergence. And that's why I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to see as well that Chief Jocko is here, because I think the announcement that I'm going to be making with respect to sport is going to be very important. First, I'm going to say that the healing power of sport is something that is going to bring us all together post-COVID-19. And secondly, I firmly believe, as a mother of a hockey player, that there is a path forward for reconciliation with our young athletes, because those kids, they love to learn and love to support one another. And so why I'm here today is to announce that probably one of the first major sporting events in a post-COVID-19 environment will be held in Renfrew County. You will receive the Ontario Winter Games in 2022. It will bring over 3,500 athletes to your community and many more spectators in 27 different sports, including in alpine skiing, aquatics, futsal, and wheelchair basketball. This will come with an investment from the Ontario government of $1 million. Of which $100,000 will go toward legacy projects for your community. This is going to be very important, not only for Renfrew County, but I believe for our entire region, because I believe very firmly that not only is sport healing and a path for reconciliation, sport hosting like an event like this is also very good for our economy. And I'll say this because I know Minister Yakubuski is also on Treasury Board. For every dollar we put into a festival, such as this, a sport hosting event, we receive as a government $21 in return. And what's really incredible about these games and the proposition from the competitive bid process, which we looked at, is this $1 million investment actually will go quite far in Renfrew County with an anticipated $5 million spin-off in economic activity. And so we're absolutely thrilled as a government, and I'm absolutely thrilled with my colleague, Minister Yakubuski, who's been a very strong advocate, as you know, for Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke for many, many years, that this is going to be taking place so close to my hometown, but also in his. And so we're looking forward to bringing the 2022 Ontario Winter Games to Renfrew County with that $1 million investment. And we're looking forward to supporting you in any way, shape, or form that we can in order to bring these games to the region, but also in order to make sure that we kickstart our tourism economy, and it starts, of course, in your hometown. So congratulations to all of those on the bid committee. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here today to announce this spectacular news. And I did have the opportunity to be in Aurelia at the very beginning, right before the COVID-19 hit in February, to see the level of enthusiasm and excitement of those athletes that are between the ages of 12 and 18 that have come from all over this great province, and the contribution that their energy and their enthusiasm made to that community, but also the value of the economics that have filled every hotel room, filled every restaurant, made sure every gas station was being filled up. So this is a great opportunity for you, and I'm looking forward to supporting you through this. So thank you very much, and I'm happy to take any questions if there are any. Otherwise, don't spend all the money in one place, John. That's $2.3 million in a week and a half.
Well, Minister, I don't know how loud that clapping is, but please know that we are very, very, very pleased. This is the first time I've had the opportunity to meet you, and right away you give us $1 million. I can't wait for our second meeting.
I know. That's where they call
me
Lotto Mac.
better and better. And I have no doubt that John's fingerprints are all over that check as well. So your announcement is really just what the county needs as we head into year two of the COVID pandemic. The opportunity to focus on hosting a prestigious event. We'll be able to celebrate as a county and as a community again, and that's so vital. We're a vital community, and our vitality has been limited as far as being on display this past year. But 2022 is not that far away, and the estimated economic impact that you indicated, somewhere between $4 and $6 million. Enormous significance to our local businesses and our economy. And, we've been struggling as everybody else in Ontario has been struggling. And this is definitely a godsend. We'll be ready to host I believe it's 3,500 athletes and coaches and managers involved in those 27 sports. And they'll be spread across the entire county again. And it just shows you that together we can do amazing things in the county of Renfrew with our 17 municipalities in the city of Pembroke. Obviously, there's much work to be done, but we are definitely up to the task. Our host municipalities are very strong on building community spirit and pride, and they will be on display every single day of the event, which I believe is in January or slated for January or February of 2022. This afternoon, the 2022 Ontario Winter Games Committee will be announced, and they will hit the ground running. I'm 100% sure of that. And just from closing, my comments are that I look forward to meeting you again in 2022, along with Minister Yakubuski, as you cut the ribbon to officially open the Winter Games. So thank you very, very much. Don't always open up for questions, but I can see everyone. So if anyone would like a comment or a question, please put your hand up and do so now. Councillor Donahue.
Just like yourself, Madam Warden, I am thrilled at the cover charge we are now charging to our provincial members to join our inaugural meeting. I look forward to this every year. Thank you very much, Minister McLeod. I look enormously forward to this enormous event that's going to come to Renfrew County. Thank you.
Councillor Emo, please.
Yes, and through you, Warden, to Minister McLeod and of course our great friend John. Thank you very much for this. Our community, as the Warden has mentioned, has some very aggressive people who will, I'm sure, carry this off in fine fashion, making our community and the province of Ontario proud. I would suggest to you that we have an excellent, as Chief Jocko has noted, an excellent relationship with our friends at Pikwakanagan First Nation, as well as with the Algonquins of Ontario. And I suspect, and I know under the leadership of the Warden and our staff, that we will continue to build on that. And this will be the perfect example of how to come out of COVID, charging out of COVID, bringing pride and a great sense of accomplishment to our community. So thank you to Minister McLeod, and thank you to John for this lovely gift to our community as we reset it. Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you for that. It makes puts pressure on my husband now to give me a bigger Christmas gift than the one I just got from Minister McLeod, but we'll see. Well, he's still here, so he's listening. Any other comments? Councillor Murphy, please.
Thank you, Madam Warden, and through you to Minister McLeod, and of course to Yak. Thank you so much for this. I think that this is going to give our residents and our business owners and all of us something to really look forward to. I think we all know that 2021 will still be quite a difficult year. So looking into 2022, this is very exciting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Murphy. And I noticed that Colonel Vass is still on with us, so you may be expecting a few phone calls from us around the Winter Games as well. So it'll be a joint effort from us all, I'm sure.
For sure, Warden Robinson. I mean, we're all in on this as well.
Fantastic. It's exciting. No matter what 2021 brings, 2022 is going to be a fantastic start of the year. Any other further comments? Seeing none, again, Minister McLeod, Minister Yakubuski, my heartfelt thank you for being here. I know we were a little late in getting you to the podium, but I'm so pleased that you were able to stay and make the announcement in person, Minister McLeod. So thank you very much, everyone. We're going to take a 15-minute recess, and then we will come back with business. We actually have some business to do today as well, folks. So thank you very much. Take care, everyone.
Thanks for having us. Really appreciate it.
Welcome back, everyone. We do have some business to attend to as well during the inaugural meeting. Our first committee report will be from Development and Property Committee. Chair Sweet, please.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Warden. And I want to offer my congratulations to your acclamation. It's nice to see and very well deserved. So congratulations. Look forward to working with you as we go through the recovery in 2021. But again, congratulations, well deserved. Members of County Council, we, your Development and Property Committee, wish to report and recommend as follows. There's one item with 2 sections of the Algonquin Trail. A request, as you can see, was received from the Timberline Snowmobile Club for permission to open a section of the Algonquin Trail as shown on the map, which is attached to this report from Greenside to help facilitate access to the downtown area for snowmobiles, and that's the downtown area of the city of Pembroke. The county of Renfrew previously entered into a lease agreement with the Timberline Snowmobile Club for these same lands in 2019. In discussion with Laurentian Valley, and they're wanting to use the Algonquin Trail within the municipal staff has sent a letter to both Timberline Snowmobile Club and the Snow Country organization advising that snowmobiles are permitted to use this section of the trail up to and including entrances into the Finnegan Roadhouse and the 2 hotels or hotel facilities down in that particular area. So that's part A. Just to remind everyone that the Algonquin Trail, when the partnership was put together, which included Lanark County, ourselves, and Papineau Cameron, this was to be a continuous 4-season, multi-purpose, continuous trail from Smith Falls all the way to Mattawa, and that is contained within the management plan. And if in fact there was an opportunity to not have whatever within your municipality, then there was a requirement for municipalities to find an alternate route, but it would be at their own expense. And moving forward with that particular situation, this is part and parcel of what we're talking about here today, with both Part A and Part B. Part B, there was a discussion with regards to the Algonquin Trail during the City of Pembroke's December 1st Finance and Administration Committee meeting. And tabled and also part of this particular report is a letter written by our warden in response to the meeting to clarify some of the comments that were made with regards to the comments that were made by certain committee members and misunderstanding over the purchase and the use of the county's communication right regarding the Algonquin Trail. And again, that letter is attached. Specifically, it seemed that there was lack of perhaps understanding that what we had done. Just to let you go back, and some members of that committee were perhaps not around when we were doing all of this, but this acquisition, shall we say, goes back nearly 11 years. So it's understandable that some members would not be aware of what we actually took place. But I think it's fair to say that the Algonquin Trail and the advisory committee that was formed was extremely transparent and open and had numerous meetings along the trail from Laurentian Hills, Head Clare Mariah, all the way down to Arnprior. So and individuals along the trail were advised of what was happening. So I think it's fair to say that we were very, very open and transparent with regards to that. And I think that has been captured very, very clearly in the letter that has been sent to the city of Pembroke. And I thank the warden for doing that. The other issue that I wanted to talk about is the Planning Division Service Delivery Review, Resolution Number DP CC 2012-84, moved by the chair and seconded by committee, that County Council directs staff to engage Strategy Corp on a continuation of their service delivery review contract to evaluate the services delivered by the Planning Division, and further the warden, the chair and vice chair of Development and Property be part of these discussions. And this is coming out of some concerns that we received, and not one, but more than one, in particular that has generated this is the letter that we received from Whitewater Region that looked to want to do their own consent and severance packages, etc., etc. But also there are two committees that are two reports, pardon me, that we've been dealing with: the Severance Delivery Report and the LEG report that speaks to some concerns that may have within the planning operation of the County of Renfrew. And our committee felt it would be important if we gathered all that information and just really analyzed exactly what the challenges are in terms of planning within the County of Renfrew. Let me just say, I think the staffing of the County of Renfrew and their planning department have done an outstanding and stellar job, headed up by Charles Cheeseman, in terms of our official plan and some of the gains that we've made with regards to that. But nonetheless, I think it's appropriate that we take a complete review of some of the concerns that have been raised and some of the implications that have been detailed in both of these reports, the Severance Delivery Report and the LEG report, in terms of what planning is in place. The background to that, as you can see there, we've asked for Strategy Core to do an analysis of that, and you see the letter that is attached in terms of not only from Strategy Core, but also the cost, which is $38,000 to do a complete review of that. And if there's a concern about where the money is coming from, that's the modernization fund. There was some money left over on that, and it was felt by our committee that that would be an excellent use of that particular funding to go forward. That is, I think, is a good background or a good overview of that, all of which is respectfully submitted by myself as chair, committee members Emon, Hunt, Keller, Lynch, Reinwald, Robinson, and TJ. Thank you, Warden.
Thank you very much, Chair Sweet. So we'll go back to the beginning under information, item number 1, the Algonquin Trail. Councillor Emo, please.
Thank you. Just to supplement some of the things the chair said, this started for me at the very minimum in December of 2010 when I was sent to Parliament Hill on behalf of the County of Renfrew to meet with the Minister of Transportation at the time to clarify how the CP Rail Corporation could devolve themselves of the actual railway, and we expressed on behalf of our community the need for as much transportation through our county and into our county for goods to be shipped out or to be brought in. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and the county very quickly pivoted with a lot of information being shared along the way to turning this into a four-season trail for many forms of use. And I think this is in keeping with that overall vision that we formed with our partners, and that we've made a lot of effort to consult and to try and accommodate the needs of all of our community with this trail. But the overriding vision is that it's a four-season multi-use trail, and it's meant to bring our communities together. And I think, as the chair has said, in several years from now, this will be pointed at as a model as how to acquire and develop a critical piece of community infrastructure. And I think our friends at the city will realize that and quickly realize the need to capitalize on the county's expenditure and vision. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Emo. Chair Sweet.
Yeah, thank you. Just a large on what Peter has said. The prime directive really for this, it would have been excellent if we had kept that level of service of the rail through the Ottawa Valley, but that was not to be for a whole host of reasons. But nonetheless, they decided to close that. The prime directive that I was driven by was a resolution of County Council, which indicated that should a trail come up for an abandoned rail line should come up, every effort should be made by the county to keep it in the public domain. That was the prime directive. I kind of sound like Star Shark here. The prime directive was initiated, and we continue to move forward to keep that in place. Just so that everyone understands that, and I'll give it a little bit of history of this. I work very closely with Kevin Paul of CP, who suggested to me that if we could keep our committee as small as possible to get consensus, that we should absolutely do that. And he also indicated to me that he wanted to deal with one person or one organization, and that was the County of Renfrew, or that consortium that we put together, and that's what happened between Lanark County, ourselves, and Papineau Cameron. I think it's fair to say it was a very successful initiative going forward, and we see the proof of the pudding, so to speak, with this particular trail being in place. It's not complete. We've got a lot of work still to do, but we're moving forward. For example, let me just say to you, in the city of Pembroke, there are 6 kilometers that go through the city of Pembroke. 5 of those kilometers have already been stone dusted or cleared. The reason it's not complete through the city of Pembroke is that there are some facilities that are not safe at this point in time, bridges that don't have the sites on them, etc. And so to make it safe, we will be looking at that into the future so that it will be able to be used completely going through. It is fair to say that we have the right to utilize that trail for the betterment of everyone. That's why it was purchased as a 4-season multi-purpose trail. Thank you, Warden.
Thank you very much, Chair Sweet. Any other further comments on item number 1A, actually? NB? Councillor Regier, please.
Thank you, Madam Warden, and through to Chair Sweet. I just want to say thank you very much. I think this will be a good initiative. I'm looking forward to working with the strategy core. I do think moving forward that this will give us an opportunity to see exactly where we are with the planning, and I appreciate this opportunity. And I am looking forward to the March 1, I believe is the date that it is to be completed. So that will at least give us enough ample time to move forward should we decide to. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Councillor Regier. I was still on 1, but you moved me to 2, so that's just.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Fine. We'll just keep moving this along, and that's okay.
I apologize.
Sure. All right. So I want to just make sure there's no other comments on item number 1A or B. Seeing none. Number 2, and thank you, Councillor Regier, for your comments. Are there any other further comments? Councillor Donahue, please.
Sorry, Madam Chair, are we on item 2 or still on?
We are on 2.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to propose a change, a slight change in addition, not any subtraction, number 2. I acknowledge as the striking committee chair that all of council just received the striking committee report moments ago. You will note, or perhaps you have noted, if not, you will be noting, hearing that Councillor Regier is going to be assuming the vice chair position. So I think that in that capacity, she is certainly named at the further resolving clause to this resolution. But I do know that Greater Madawaska had to take the leadership with respect to the LEG initiative that has also been named in this, and I know has been party to some of the conversations as the past vice chair of this committee, that I would move that this be amended to include, in addition to the warden chair and vice chair, that it also include Councillor Hunt be part of these discussions.
Thank you very much, Councillor Donahue. Do you have a seconder? Councillor Emo. Any discussion? It was it was intended always for Councillor Hunt to be a part of this committee, so I thank the mover and the seconder for making that amendment. Is there any other further discussion? Seeing none, can I have a vote on the amended resolution? All in favor? Carried. Carried. Or opposed, I'm sorry. I'm getting tired now. Opposed and carried. Thank you very much. Do we need now a motion for the resolution as amended? Yes. Okay. I'm looking for a mover and a seconder to accept the resolution as amended. Councillor Donahue, Councillor Murphy, any comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Thank you very much. The report as a whole. Do I have a mover?
So moved, Warden.
Thank you. All in favor of the report? Carried. Thank you very much. And our final committee report of the day, the striking committee. Councillor Donahue, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I will invite also, I know that it was distributed very recently, which did not provide a great deal of time for council to review. So I would ask if Mr. Morrow perhaps could share his screen as we go through. In the meantime, while Mr. Morrow is doing that, I will begin. The Council Corporation of the County of Renfrew and members of the County Council, we, your striking committee, wish to recommend as follows. A bylaw to establish the county committees for the ensuing year. Resolution number ST-CC-21-01-01, moved by myself, seconded by committee, that the persons listed in bylaw number 1-21 be the committees for the ensuing year, and that the first person named on each committee, where bold, be the chair, and that these be established by bylaw at this session of County Council. And with that, Mr. Morrow, if you could please advance. Thank you. The striking committee recommendation for 2021 is myself as chair and councillors Grills, Murphy, Regier, sorry, it's hidden there, I apologize. Councillor Reinwald, Councillor Warden Robinson, apologies, and the vice chair is to be Kathy Regier, Councillor Regier. Moving on to standing committees, the Finance and Administration Committee it's recommended that Jennifer Murphy be chair, Councillor Brose, Doncaster, Donahue, Hunt, Heckett, Warden Robinson, and Councillor Sweet, with the vice chair being Councillor Hunt. For operations, it is recommended that Councillor Peckett be chair, that the committee be composed of Councillors Bennett, Hunt, Keller, Lynch, TJ, and Warden Robinson, and that Councillor Bennett assume the position of vice chair. With respect to development and property, it is recommended that Councillor Sweet chair this committee, and that it be comprised of Councillors Emo, Keller, Lynch, Regier, Reinwald, TJ, and Warden Robinson, and that vice chair be Councillor Regier. The recommendation from striking for the health committee is that myself as chair and the committee be comprised of Councillors Bennett, Doncaster, Emo, Grills, Love, Murphy, and Warden Robinson, and that Councillor Kim Love be the vice chair. Community service, the recommendation is that Councillor Brose be chair and the committee be comprised of Councillors Grills, Love, Regier, Reinwald, and Warden Robinson, and that the vice chair be Councillor John Reinwald. Moving on now to the ad hoc and subcommittees. The Algonquins of Pikwakanagan, County of Renfrew Economic and Community Development Committee be chaired by Councillor Emo, and Warden Robinson, and that the alternate be Councillor Murphy. For the County Road 51 Advisory Committee, that it be chaired by Councillor Peckett and be comprised of Councillors Lynch, Reinwald, and Sweet. The Health Services and Social Services Provincial Modernization Ad Hoc Committee recommendation is that myself as chair and be comprised of Councillors Brose, Doncaster, Emo, Love, Murphy, and Warden Robinson. The vice chair is recommended to be Councillor Murphy. The Highway 17 Extension Advisory Committee, that Councillor Emo be in the chair position, and that the committee be comprised of Councillors Bennett, Peckett, Rigier, TJ, and Warden Robinson. The KNP Recreational Management Advisory Committee be Councillor Sweet as chair. The Land Division Committee be Councillor Hunt as chair, and be comprised of Councillors Grills, Reinwald, and the alternate being Councillor Love. The Municipal Accessibility Advisory Committee recommendation is that Councillor Bennett chair the committee. The Ottawa Valley Recreational Trail / Algonquin Trail Advisory Committee have as chair Councillor Sweet and members Emo and Lynch. And the vice chair is recommended to be Councillor Lynch. Appointments to external boards, committees, or agencies. The Association of Municipalities of Ontario be Councillor Emo. The Board of Health appointees be myself, Councillors Emo, Murphy, and Rigier. The Chalk River Laboratories Environmental Stewardship Council be Councillor Hunt. The County Intermunicipal Relations Committee be chaired by Councillor Brose and be composed of Councillors Murphy, Rigier, and Warden Robinson, with Jennifer Murphy, Councillor Murphy, as vice chair. The Federation of Canadian Municipalities is Glenn Doncaster, Councillor Glenn Doncaster. The Ministry of Natural Resources Forest Management Plan for Algonquin Park and the Ottawa Valley Forest be Councillor Sheldon Keller. Likewise, the Ministry of Natural Resources Regional Advisory Committee once more be Councillor Keller. The Inaugural Committee for the 2022 Ontario Winter Games, as we so appreciatively received notice earlier today, be comprised with Councillor Emo as chair, accompanied with committee members Hunt, Sweet, and Warden Robinson. The Ottawa Valley Tourist Association Board of Directors be designated as Councillors Doncaster, Grills. The Renfrew County Agricultural Economic Development Committee is Councillor Bennett. The recommendation for the Renfrew County Forestry and Wood Processing Committee is Councillor TJ. The Shaw Woods Outdoor Education Center, the recommendation is that Councillor Brose be delegate. With that, Madam Mayor, that bylaw 12, I don't know if I read that at this point. Perhaps I shall pause at that point. As I had indicated, Council has only just received the Striking Committee report this morning, and we have reviewed it line by line. But at this point, I think I would open for, with your permission, any question, comment.
Yes, please, Chair. Paul, if you could not share your screen because I can't see anybody. Well, I can see 4 people. There's more than 4 there. All right. Questions, comments? Seeing none. Paul, does the rest of the report have to be read? All right, Chair, back to you, please.
Thank you, Madam Ward. I have that, Mr. Morrow. You do not need to put it on the screen. Okay. Madam Warden, that bylaw 12-20, enacted on the 29th of January 2020, is hereby repealed. that this bylaw shall come into force and take effect upon the passing thereof. Read a first time this 15th day of December 2020. Read a second time this 15th day of December 2020. Read a third time and finally passed this 15th day of December 2020.
All right, thank you very much. Any further discussion? Do I have a mover for the report?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Now I need a mover and a seconder that the bylaws listed on item 24 and attached hereto as Schedule A on the County Council agenda dated December the 15th, 2020, be deemed read 3 times and passed. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Sweet and Councillor Brose. Any comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. No, just reading the date, December 15th, 2020. Almost done. We're almost through, folks. Notice of motions. Mr. Morrow? None. Members' written motions? I don't believe. Any new business? Councillor Emo, please.
Yes, it's not so much new business as thank you very much, Warden. Your speech today was most thoughtful and reassuring to our communities. You know, recognizing the sacrifice and effort of people in long-term care and their families, and then also with regard to what happened last week, some of the comments about racism and discrimination that may have inadvertently cast our community in a disadvantaged position. So thank you for recognizing those important issues.
Thank you very much for that. I do apologize for the tears. It's just, you know, something that happens. Any other further comments? Councillor Reinwald, please.
Thank you, Madam Warden. I just wanted to back to the inaugural slightly. First of all, a very sincere congratulations to you again. I think you've proven the point to a lot of everybody sitting around the council table that you are certainly the person for the job, and you are more than willing to take it on. If I go back a few years, I only started in the county council in about 2014. At that time, it was Councillor Emo who sort of took me under his wing and helped me through the initial stages of county council. And I really appreciated him for that. And after that, Councillor Murphy, who also had some very challenging times, especially with the flooding that was taking place throughout the area. And she stepped up to the plate and carried through that. And now you, with COVID-19 in your second year of COVID-19, you're certainly a shining star in this whole thing. So we have had some really, really great leaders in this community, and I just wanted to tip my hat off both the previous wardens and now to you. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. They're very big shoes to fill, and I'm trying my very best. Councillor Murphy, please.
I think we wear the same size shoes, Warden. Look, if there are no tears, there's no passion, right? I also want to congratulate you, and I want to invite all of you on Saturday night at 7 o'clock to join us on our Bonnechere Valley YouTube channel for our Home for the Holidays. Instead of a Santa Claus parade or a Christmas parade this year, our wonderful friend Shannon Edwards put together a whole bunch of musical acts and greetings, including a greeting from Yak. So I encourage you all to log on Saturday night, December 19th at 7 o'clock. It's Home for the Holidays, pun intended.
Well, thank you very much. Sounds fantastic. Any other comments? We're nearing the end here. Okay. No closed meeting. So I need a mover and a seconder that a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Council of the County of Renfrew at the meeting held on December the 15th, 2020 be now numbered, deemed read 3 times and passed. A mover and a seconder, please. Councillor TJ, Councillor Peckett. All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Motion to adjourn. Councillor Bros and Councillor Sweet. All in favor? Carried. Sean, you can shut us down?